There are 3 things that the cane will not detect, even if you're using the cane exactly as it should be used. I'm going to show you the 3 things and then how it might be mitigated. One of the things is something as large as this pillow, 14-inch square pillow. The cane can go right around it. Another thing that I can miss is something like a pole or a corner. The cane can go right around it and then you walk into it. A third thing is something hanging overhead, like a sign or a tree branch, etc. So I'm going to show each of those 3, starting with the something hanging overhead. And here we have a tree branch. And you'll notice that as I go through, the cane goes under and I get caught in the branch with no warning from the cane. If you're expecting that you're going to be in an area that has a lot of signs or things sticking out or tree branches, a lot of people will hold their hand up, an upper hand and forearm. They might move their arms so that the tips of the fingers are just above the top of the head so that it can protect the face. It's a good idea to wear a brimmed hat to be able to get some warning. Some people use an umbrella. And make sure to cover your eyes with glasses, sunglasses or regular glasses, so that you don't get your eyes scratched. So the other 2 things, the second thing I'm going to show is something as large as a pillow. I've marked on the ground where the cane will be moving, and I've put the pillow in such a place that as the cane moves from side to side, just before it gets to the pillow, it covers the ground just before the pillow and then wraps around afterwards. So let's see how that goes. It goes around it and I stepped into it or stepped over it or kicked it or tripped on it. Of course, if it's a pillow, it can be easily kicked out of the way, but if it's something that's more solid, you might trip on it and fall. The third thing that that the cane will not find is something like a pole or a corner. So I've got a corner of a door or something here. And I've placed it in such a way that I'm going to be walking into it with my shoulder. Let's see what happens with the cane. The cane goes right around it, and this is it, and I walk into it and bump into it with my shoulder. If I was walking toward it in such a way that I'm going to hit it with my face, it's centered, I am going to be able to touch it. The shaft of the cane will warn me about it. But if it's over toward the side, I might bump into it with my shoulder. So when I'm teaching people how to use a cane, I make sure that they know they're not under any false expectation that it will protect them from everything if they just do it correctly. There are those 3 things that it would miss: the overhead, the corner or pole, and the small object. If they're expecting that they're in an area that's going to have a lot of corners or poles or small objects, there are several ways to mitigate that. One is to shorten the cane arc. If my normal cane arc extends so that I take each step about 2 feet apart, if I either move the cane twice for every step or I take shorter steps, then I'm more likely to contact these small objects. Let me get this little pillow out here. See what happens. If I take big steps, I can go right around. If I take smaller steps, then it's going to hit it, more likely to hit it. Another thing that can be done is to use what's called an alternative mobility device. They have either 1 or 2 bars going vertically, and at the bottom is a horizontal bar. And so if it's pushed in front of you, it doesn't wrap around anything. It's going to contact any small object, contact any poles, corners, etc., and warn you about them.